Okay, well, welcome back to the Joe Dunnrite Show. Today we're going to talk about reloading 308 cartridges. Talked a little bit in a previous episode about new brass. I told you before I bought a bunch of new Winchester brass and got that all prepped up. And if you want to see what I did, please go look at that video. But today I want to talk really just about a couple of different cartridges that I've loaded over the years. And some of you might ask, why did I pick 308? Well, when I was a young person growing up, my dad has a 308, a Savage Model 99. And when I went to buy a rifle, we both talked about it. What should I get? So I ended up getting a 308 rifle, and it was good because back then we could reload together and shoot the same cartridge. We could share cartridges if we needed to. And now that my boys are older, they're shooting those rifles now, and so we can load up together. I like the 308, like we talked about, because it's a short action cartridge. My one firearm is a semi-automatic. It's not a weapon of mass destruction. It's actually a deer hunting rifle made by Remington, and the other one's a lever action Savage 99 that was my dad's. But anyway, over the years, when I first started hunting, I started in reloading. We were reloading 150 grain Sierra, just flat base bullets, real basic standard bullet. Always loved the IMR 4064 powder, very stable powder, very predictable, and I kind of settled in on 44 grains for a 150 grain bullet. I know you read a lot about these guys that go out and they'll load 5 rounds at 44 grains, 5 rounds at 44.1, 5 grains at 44.2, blah, 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 and they go out and they want to shoot, and they talk about their groups and everything. That's great if that's your hobby. If your hobby is you want to go out and you want to sit on a bench and you want to shoot at 100 or 200 or 600 yards and check your groups, that's great. But I'll be honest with you, for hunters, it's really less critical. The reason I say it's less critical is whether your gun groups at 1 inch or 2 inches at 100 yards isn't that critical. There's more error in the hunter himself or herself when they're hunting. So I've just kind of stuck on 44 grains for the 150 grain class bullet, and 42 grains for a 180 class bullet. We'll talk about that. So again, the 150s. About, I would say, 15 years ago, Arizona Game and Fish with the junior hunters that got tags for deer up in Kaibab were giving the hunters 2 free boxes of federal cartridges, 150 grain Barnes TSX bullets, and that's a solid copper bullet. And I was pretty impressed with them when we first started shooting them. They were in a 308 cartridge. If you were a youth hunter, you got a tag, they would send you a certificate. You could go down to your favorite store and you could get your 2 boxes. My older son, in I think it was 2005, it was an antlerless deer tag, so you had to basically shoot a doe. Shot his doe with this round, and it was fine. We continued to load those and hunt with those, and in 2014, he had an elk tag, and it was a bull elk tag up in 6A, and it was a nice, kind of a small 6x6 bull, about 125 yards away, and he shot that bull, and that bull just stood there. And then the bull started walking, and he shot it again, and the bull kept walking. Finally, he got up on it and shot it and killed it. That was in 2014. In 2016, he had a bull elk tag in 6A up in Arizona, and 90 yards away, a very nice, large, 300-plus bull, 6x6, standing broadside at 90 yards. Same bullet, 308 with the TSX that I loaded. Solid copper bullet. Shot that bull, and it stood there. Put another round in, shot that bull again, stood there. Finally, that bull started walking, and so at 90 yards, he decided to shoot it at the base of the neck. He shot at the base of the neck, and the bull dropped and died instantly. We went down there, and those 2 first bullet holes were within 3 inches of each other through both lungs. And the hole on the entry side was the size of the bullet, and the hole on the exit side was the size of the bullet. So the bullet just went clean through. And the copper, the nice thing about the copper is it does retain its energy. It does not, or not energy, but its mass. A lead bullet, like a Remington Corlock, that's lead inside, will basically fragment, and that bullet with the TSX just goes straight through. And so I called Barnes and I said, "What's up with that?" And he goes, "Oh, you shouldn't be shooting that bullet out of a 308." And I'm like, "Well, why not?" He goes, "It doesn't go fast enough." And my bullets probably go 2,700 feet per second, maybe. These aren't really very hot loads, maybe 26, 50. And he said that's not fast enough for a copper TSX to expand. Well, I asked him, then why did you put them in a Federal cartridge? If it doesn't work properly, why would you sell them over the counter? And he was kind of befuddled about that. So I'm moving away from the copper TSX, and I'm going to run out real quick and take you out to the garage. We're going to load up some Hornady bullets. So I bought some Hornady ELDs. Sorry about the washing machine noise here, but I really like Hornady bullets. You know, you can spend a lot of money on bullets if you want to. There is, you know, these guys have all their fancy bullets. They want to spend a lot of money, and you can spend upwards of a dollar a round for them if you want, for just the bullet component itself. I think that's getting a little crazy. So I bought some Hornady bullets for another caliber that I reload, and I loved them. So I went out and I ordered some ELD-X's, so Hornady ELD-X, and we're going to load some up. And basically, it's a jacketed lead core bullet with a polymer tip on it, and the idea behind the polymer tip is it gets it to expand. So we're going to try those for a hunt we have. We've also loaded 180 grain Remington Corlock. Again, this is a real standard round, been around for a long time. Again, when you fire it, it'll expand, fully mushroom. But the idea behind the solid copper bullet was you don't have any lead in the environment. And up in Kaibab, the issue is that the condors that live up there that were brought in from California would go to the gut piles of the deer, eat the gut pile, eat the remnants of the lead bullet, and then they would get lead poisoning. So that's why they were pushing the coppers. But we're going to get away from the copper bullet. It's a nice looking bullet. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Looks like a little teeny hollow point. But we're going to go this year with the Hornady TSX. This is a 178 grain bullet. We're going to use the IMR 4064. I'm not going to mess around with working up loads to go from 42.0 to 42 point whatever. It's just a consistent round. I've had really good luck with everything around 180 grains, just using 180 grain bullet using 42 grains. We're going to load them up. One thing I'm going to tell you too, they call it hunting, right? So we're going hunting. We're not going shooting. To me, hunting means, and I archery hunt too, primarily. Hunting means hunting, getting close to the animal. These guys that profess that they shoot these animals out to 600 yards, that's not hunting, that's shooting. We don't do that. Almost every animal we've taken with a rifle has been under 150 yards. And the reason my son shot the one at like 125 was because there was a barbed wire fence between the bull and us, and we would risk spooking the bull to try to get through there. But you know, we like to hunt, get on the animal, and shoot under 100 yards. With archery, I've killed lots of animals. I don't think I've ever shot anything over 35 yards. So all these guys with a bow, and we'll do some bow sessions, but they want to shoot out to 70, 80 yards. I had a friend of my son's that I took on a little kind of a hunting trip. He got a tag, and he's practicing out to 100 yards. And I'm like, we're not going to shoot any animal past 30 yards. And he looked at me kind of funny. And all you guys who shoot bows, who want to shoot out to 70, 80 yards, that's shooting, that's not hunting. Hunting is getting on the animal, calling on a bull during the archery season, or a rifle, stalking up on the animal. So most of our shots, we prefer everything under 100 yards. So with that, if the bullet groups, if you can group on a bench 100 yards and 4 or 5 inches, you're fine. So anyway, you can respond or comment if you want. You're more than welcome to disagree with me if you'd like, or share your comments. But just really good luck with 42 grains for 180 loads and 44 grains with a 150 load bullet. And again, we're going to go to a Hornady ELD-X with a polymer tip, and we'll see how that goes this year for us. So that's all. Please take a look. Send me your comments. Be happy to hear from you. Thanks.